The real key to DDoS mitigation, first of all, is to understand that something bad is happening on the network and what it is that's happening on the network and how serious it is. And so we consider this to be detection, knowing that something happens, and then classification. What is happening? How much of it is happening? Is it operationally impacting? And then there's traceback, which is where is it happening on the network. And in terms of DDoS attacks, it's important to have instrumentation and telemetry so that you have visibility into your network traffic so that you can understand when something unusual and potentially harmful like a DDoS attack is taking place. And so we really very strongly recommend that network operators make use of what's called flow telemetry that's built into the routers and the layer 3 switches from Cisco, Juniper, Huawei, you name it. All of the major vendors support flow telemetry export. And basically what this is, it's almost like a mobile phone bill for the routers and the layer 3 switches that tells who's talking to whom, what protocols, what ports, what packet sizes, that kind of thing. And it's exported constantly from the routers and layer 3 switches. And there are open source and commercial systems that collect this flow telemetry and analyze it and can display alerts to let network operators know when a DDoS attack is taking place, how big it is, what kind it is, where it's ingressing the network, and where it's egressing the network. So that network visibility piece is really, really key. Network operators need network visibility anyway, simply by way of being able to perform traffic engineering, peering analysis to make sure that they're optimally peered, troubleshooting and that sort of thing. So they need this type of visibility all day, every day, but they also need it for security purposes as well. And so flow telemetry is the most scalable, most applicable form of telemetry for network operators because it's the routers and the layer 3 switches themselves that are exporting it. So there's no need to go and try to deploy probes everywhere on the network with taps or span or port mirroring, which doesn't necessarily scale very well. So in the visibility piece and the detection, classification, and traceback, flow telemetry is really the way to go. The good news is that there are lots of open source tools out there that folks can get started with. In many cases, that's all they need. So they don't have to invest a bunch of CapEx in deploying these systems. On the other hand, if it turns out that their needs are more complex, they need to look at a commercial system. By starting with the open source systems, the operator gains experience, operational experience, and is much better able to make a judgment as to which commercial system might best meet his needs.